everyone and welcome back on my YouTube channel, cabin crew / flight attendants, you name it the way you want it. In today's video, we're going to be talking about an interesting subject that has come up across the conversations that we had through my email address and through the Instagram account, and it's related to the subject of confidence. Now, before we go to further discussions about the confidence level, how big should be the confidence level, and should you be a confident person if you're applying for the job position of a cabin crew / flight attendant, let's first talk about what is confidence. Now, if you go on internet and read the definition about confidence, there will be thousands of definitions that you will come across. One that I found, and I truly believe that it's related to our job description as a cabin crew / flight attendants, is actually an ability of handling situations such as work, such as family relationships, such as social life, so on and so forth. Now, if you are going online on the website of qatarairways.com, because you're a future candidate for the job position of a cabin crew, and you open to read about the job itself of a flight attendant, there is one sentence that it's going to drag your attention. It dragged my attention, and it says that as a future flight attendant for Qatar Airways, you will be looking after the customers and you will be delivering the promise of excellent in-flight service and by maintaining the highest level of safety and security on board. Now, this means one word when it comes to confidence, and that's called trust. Why do Qatar Airways, why do the airlines in general are looking for confident candidates? It's because they're looking for people they can trust. In this sentence is very well explained that they're looking for people that they can trust, that they can deliver an excellent in-flight service. They are looking for people who are going to be maintaining the highest level of safety and security on board. Therefore, confidence really, really matters. Now, you have asked me through our communications over Instagram and over email address for a help, that some of you have told me, Julia, I really, really want to be a cabin crew, but I know I'm not confident enough. Don't worry. As long as you are aware that you're not confident enough, you're on the right track to come over that feeling, because you know exactly what you're lacking of and you are going to be working on that. So therefore, this factor of being self-aware is very, very important. Now let's discuss about, is the confidence born? Are we born with confidence, or we're building the confidence throughout life? Certainly not. We are not born with confidence. Rather than that, we're building up our confidence, and there is a difference. Just the fact that we are all different people, we have a different process of developing, of upgrading our confidence. And as I said, it's never too late to become self-aware whenever we are lacking confidence, and it's never too late to start working on your level of confidence and to just change yourself, to just bring a radical change in your behavior where everyone around you, first your family members, your friends, are going to be noticing. Now, I have been researching on this subject and have been discussing with my friends, with the people that I know that have not been confident and that have become confident throughout certain process, and I have been gathering information, because for me, I'm pretty much a confident person in general, and it's going to be very easy to sit down and talk to you. Yes, you must be confident, but I'm making this video to give you tips on how you can become confident. So therefore, I had to research a little bit, because I love learning, I love gathering experience, so this was a pleasure for me to do it. So let's go step by step. One of the ladies that I personally know, and I follow her on Instagram, she's an active Herbalife activist. She's also a Herbalife specialist. She's a motivator, speaker, at the same time a hiking instructor, if I'm not mistaken. And once she shared the story that for her it was very hard to gain the confidence, to become able to do public speaking, and that she had to work on that to gather more experience and to become a more open and confident person dealing with strangers, basically. I have talked to her in order to gather more experience, because for me it's going to be very easy to sit down here and talk to you. Yes, guys, you must be confident. That's it. The power lies in you. And this video is going to last for 1 minute. But actually what you should do to become more confident, it's actually a process. And gathering information is very, very important in order to give you tips how you can overcome situations and how you can become more confident. The number one thing she said she started doing is she started reading motivational books. And she started implementing those motivational books, because just by reading and not doing it in practice doesn't have any effect. Because you're reading a nice story and that story says, yeah, you must be a good person, but you don't practice those things, then it has no effect. But she said she started practicing all those motivational books she was reading about success, how to overcome the fear of public speaking, so on and so forth. Now, related to the job position of a cabin crew / flight attendant, we, not most often, but we are 100% of our time and of our job, we are communicating with strangers. Now let me ask you one question. If you're a person that wants to apply for the job position of a cabin crew / flight attendant, and you have an absolute fear of talking to strangers, how do you overcome that fear? One tip that I have thought about and giving it to you related to this video is start changes. Start the changes immediately. How and what does that mean? Make a target for yourself. If you really need loads of time, start with 2 strangers per day, or 2 strangers when you go out in every occasion. Sometimes you go 2 to 3 times out per day, depends on your needs. But start a small target group in which you're gonna say, right, I'm going to the supermarket now, I'm going to buy some things, and now I'm gonna make sure that I greet 2 strangers. I will tell them, hello, good afternoon. That's it. You have done a very small step forward, but very valid. And trust me, when you will go to the next 2 persons, it's gonna be very easier. You're gonna say, hi, good afternoon. Then it comes the feedback, good afternoon to you too. Perhaps a question, how is your day? My day is good, how is your day? If you received a feedback only good afternoon, that's fine. If you received an invitation for a further conversation, how is your day? Or it's a nice weather outside. It can be loads of other interaction, loads of other words exchanged in the interaction. But believe me, that's a very, very important step of gaining confidence. Making that small target that every time you are going out, you're going to be greeting 2 strangers. I can guarantee you, in 1 week, you are going to be able to say hello even to the most moody person in your neighborhood. We all have this moody person that never says hi to anyone, always goes with the head down, always looks like it hates everyone, but you are going to be saying hi to this person. You know why? Because you will no longer care what this person will say and whether he or she is going to raise the head up and is going to give back that hello to you. The moment you stop worrying what the other person is going to tell you, that's the time you're going to be able to say hello, good afternoon, how was your day to anyone. Because as I said before, in the aircraft, we must greet our passengers, we must openly approach our passengers, we must openly observe situations, and sometimes without being invited in situation, we must act for the simple reason, prevention. The other thing that can also help you gain more confidence is checking your way of standing, checking your way of walking, looking yourself in the mirror and evaluating yourself. For example, if I'm sitting like this now, do I look confident? No, I don't. But if I sit like this, how do I look? More confident. So check yourself in the mirror and see, Are you a person who's sitting down, or are you a person who's sitting down like this? Are you a person when you're standing, your shoulders are the same way, or it's up? Start those little changes where you're holding your shoulders properly, where you're standing upright, where your head stands not like this, of course, it stands the normal height, where you look presentable, and at the same time check for your eye contact. How do you make eye contact within yourself? Are you able to look at yourself in the mirror? Can you try talking to yourself in the mirror? It's very, very important. The time when you stand and talk to people, looking in their eyes, without worrying what are they going to think about you, that's a very huge step towards confidence. And this is a factor that the recruitment officers are looking at. Are you looking into their eyes? How you are standing? Are you standing upright? Is your head up? How do you walk? Do you use open palm gestures? Do you give that feeling of being approachable? If I'm sitting like this now, do I look approachable to you? No, of course not, because I'm holding something, I'm guiding something, perhaps I'm cold. Then the other person opposite to me is gonna ask me, is everything okay? Are you feeling afraid? Or you're perhaps cold? Can I give you a jacket? That person that's gonna talk to me is most probably more confident than me because I'm like this, or I'm like this. When you're going for your recruitment day, make sure you've practiced all these gestures of open palm gestures when you're talking, having that warm smile, looking into the people's eyes, to the ones you're talking to. That's very, very important. The third and very important parameter is also not thinking what the other person is thinking, but think about yourself. Make a plan in your head what you are going to say, and be very fast in that. If you're making a plan on how you're gonna speak, maybe you might be having notes, maybe you will be practicing, most probably, because we've discussed this before. But when you will be talking, usually people who are lacking of confidence would tell you, I'm so afraid because I don't know what the other person will say. Why in the first place we're worrying what the other person will say? What the other people that they wouldn't like these videos, what they would say, it's none of my business and I don't care. What I am thinking right now is that I have a message that I want to pass to you, and that's the most important thing for me at the moment. So therefore, when you will be communicating or you have a message to pass, never think what the other person is going to say. Just transfer that message, and I hope that you understand the importance of that message, because sometimes there are messages and there are times where you don't need to pass every message in a particular time. Now let me relate this to the aviation in a general, to the flight attendant's job position. You must know when you should act. You must be observant, and you must, I wouldn't say be judgmental, but you must be able to understand people's needs. Why I say this? You have a customer coming back to the kitchen, to the galley in the aircraft, who's standing like this. If you're a very shy person and you don't want to communicate, you're just shy, you don't know what the other person is going to say, what is this passenger telling you? Most probably he's cold. What is your action in this situation? Right, I'm going to be checking the temperature if I'm a very proactive cabin crew, or I'm going to be just transferring a message to my supervisor saying there is a passenger who I observe is feeling cold, perhaps we can check the temperature. Now in this situation, I wouldn't say you must be multitasking, but prior to doing this, you might want to ask the customer, can I make you some cup of tea? Do you feel cold, sir? You are coming up with a solution. All these things, you must be able to do it without being afraid what this passenger is going to be telling you. Rather that you have a message, you are seeing a problem. A person is not feeling confident. I must act in this situation. Now this is the time where much thinking is not required, it's required in action. But of course, if you are a person that doesn't want to communicate, communicate, that you're afraid what the other person is going to be saying. Perhaps you will join this person, this passenger next to it, and you're going to be doing the same thing and then not talking to each other. Of course not. Was just a joke that I said. That's why we're saying, and that's why the airlines are emphasizing so much on the importance of candidates being confident. And this is the very, very important parameter that they're looking at once the open day has come up, once you are leaving your CV, and once you are getting towards the process of being interviewed and whether you're going to pass the interview or not. Now comes the last part, which I'm very sure that you all know it, but we must remind each other once again that every radical change comes out from commitment. How much you are going to commit towards yourself of gaining more and more confidence every day, it all depends on you. If you are planning to apply for the job position of a cabin crew / flight attendant and you're lacking for confidence, you have noticed that you're lacking confidence. You are watching this video, as I said, most probably because you need some tips. Please start the change immediately. Decide how you're going to start. Perhaps somebody will start first with the posture. Somebody will start first with looking themselves in the mirror. Then it's going to be the other process that I have mentioned. You're going to go outside and you're going to make sure that first you're going to greet two strangers. You're going to say, hey, hello. Then later on, you're going to go to the supermarket and you're going to make a conversation with the salesperson there without thinking what she's going to say, but rather than you having a message to pass to her and to wish her a very great day today. Think about all those small things and commit yourself towards doing those things. That's one great big step. I can promise you that if you have been doing this for quite some time, you're going to become much more confident person than you were on the interview when you were rejected. You will be a different person. You will have the freedom to speak more. You will shine. And with all these things, with all these factors, having said everything, please bear in mind that confidence is not being above someone. Confidence is not being below someone. Confidence is just being yourself at a particular time, in a particular situation, knowing when to act, knowing how to act, and not being afraid to act. That's all from me in this video, and I hope you guys liked it. Please don't forget that all your comments and suggestions are welcomed. I wish you all a great day, and I'm going to see you very soon in another video with another subject. Bye bye and have a nice day.